Welcome to Friday Fuel. Before we get started, I'd really like to say thank you on behalf of Sarah and myself for all the great information that you're sharing with us. We're really loving hearing what great results you're having from the feedback that we've shared so far. Now, what we also would love to do is say a big thank you to those that have actually said to us, this is what we'd love to see coming up. Because what we've done is we've been able to shape our June series based on what you would like to hear and see. So June is all about how do you show up in changing times. So this is the sort of flow that we're going to go through in June. The first week, today, what we're going to focus on is actually managing our energy and how do we actually optimize that. Because to show up, we actually need to make sure we're feeling good. So we're going to kick that off today. What we're going to have a look at next week is actually how do we use our energy flows during a normal work day, and how do we actually balance that with the activity loads that we have in place. Week 3 is going to be all about how do you actually show up emotionally in times of change. Really, really powerful. And we're going to finish off June with some really good proactive tips on how you can actually support others through this time of uncertainty.
Yeah, and as Kirsten said, we're really excited to bring this series to you. And today we're going to be looking at optimizing our energy. And the reality is, look, if we're not prioritizing ourselves and our energy, what we can often find is we're in a position where we're just not delivering to the standards that we're hoping to. We're actually not able to support other people in their roles either. And we're just not really present in our everyday. Now, we're not talking about turning you into a yogi or a nutritionist or any of those sorts of things. We're actually just talking to you about putting in place some really small actions so we can create those really, really healthy habits, or build on those healthy habits that you've already got in place in your everyday.
Perfect. So let's kick off with a couple of proactive actions which can make a mammoth difference for both yourself and to those that you share these techniques with. The first one is about energy peaks and troughs. Now, this is extremely powerful because so often in life what we do is automatic. And like Sarah said, it's all around the habit side. So what we want to do is spotlight your self-awareness in this particular area. So what we would encourage you to do is to grab a piece of paper and a pen, and you can either pause this or come back and watch it again. And what you do is you draw a chart. On the bottom axis, you write down the times of day. So you write down from the time you wake up. Say for me, I get up at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, that would be nice. I get up at 5 a.m. But I am a little bit of a night nerd, so I go to bed around about 9:30. So what I would do is I'd plot along the bottom axis 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way through to 9:30 p.m. And what I would do then on the x-axis is I would actually then put in your energy levels. So you start at the bottom with low, medium, and then high. Then what I'd encourage you to do is you go through and you look at every hour of your day, and you plot where is your energy at that particular time. So when I wake up, I'm a bit strange, and I know, Sarah, you're with me on this one. At 5 o'clock in the morning when I wake up, actually my energy is quite high. I feel amazing. It's the best time of the day. So what I would do is I would plot for 5 a.m. that I'd probably have medium to high energy. And then that would actually carry on through the day. Now, as long as I'm looking after my energy and putting things back in throughout the day, my energy stays pretty high until usually mid-evening, and then it does crash because I'm not really an evening person. So just to recap, draw yourself a graph, bottom axis, go through and put the time of day from the time you wake up to the time that you go to sleep. On the vertical axis, write down your energy levels, high, medium, and low, and then plot for every hour. Now, when you do that, what you can do is once you've plotted, you actually then join the dots. And the beautiful thing about that is you can see how maintaining or sustainable your energy is. Or one of the things that I really love from this is you can see your peaks and your troughs. And then guess what? You can then actually make better choices, and better choices mean better results. So what you can do then is you can say, oh, actually, at about 10 o'clock, my energy is dropping. But then you have a look at what have I been eating? Have I had fresh air? Have I been exercising? Whatever that may look like. And then you can actually elevate that. Take the controls back. So that's energy peaks and troughs, and that's about gaining your awareness, because there's no point just sharing tips with you unless we give you some activities to enable you to actually analyze what your energy looks like. If we build on from energy peaks and troughs, so do that activity, and then what we'd also encourage you to do is an activity looking at your energy credits. So what this is looking at what gains energy for you and what drains your energy. So in other words, a gain is a credit to a bank account. It's as you're putting in money, or the other way I like to look at it is it's like a water reservoir for rain. So that's very topical for Auckland right now. So what we have a look at is we look at what do we do in any given day to actually put energy back in. Every morning we wake up with a set amount of energy. And as we go through the day, we're burning that energy off. So we need to top it up and work with it throughout the day. So things like, for me, you know, for gaining energy, you might have things such as people you work with. It might be that, you know, going outside. It could be all sorts of different things. But what I would like you to do is write down 5 things that you can do during a normal workday that would gain you energy. Don't forget things like music. Don't forget about activities. Don't forget about, you know, fuel and hydration. The other thing though I want you to look at, which is absolutely critical, are your energy debits. Now these are the drains. These are the things that take your energy away. So this could be even as simple as when you see a person's name sometimes on a phone, you might look at it and go, oh, I really don't want to pick up that phone. It could be that you're in, you know, back-to-back meetings. It could be that you are stuck inside and you've been stuck inside, you know, for a week during lockdown and you haven't got outside. It could be that there's people around you that are bringing your energy down. But you've got to be really conscious, and I really love you to be more self-aware in this upcoming week of what, when you're going through your day, drops your energy. And sometimes it could be as simple as a certain conversation. But what we need you to do is do the analysis. So I always just do 2 boxes. I write down all the things that I can do during the day to top my energy up, and what are the things that drain my energy, because what I want to do is add in more of the credits and take control of putting those into my day, but I also want to make sure for the drains that I'm either eliminating them or minimizing the effect of those.
Yeah, that's a really good example. And one of the things that when we were talking about this topic that we've even talked about is ensuring that we're not managing our time and actually booking in back-to-back meetings constantly. And that sometimes that's easier said than done, of course, but actually being really conscious around having the ability to reset our energy credits so that we've actually got the time to, you know, get that glass of water or have a banana or an apple or something, or some nuts or something to refuel, or even sneak away to the bathroom if you need it. And other ways that we can, you know, refuel ourselves, like you've said, and get some energy back is that fresh air and movement and going for a walk if you're able to do those things. The third thing we wanted to share was really around framing up your morning intentionally and perhaps setting up your own ritual. And it's a really quick, easy, fun thing to do. So when you wake up, our thoughts often wander to lots of different places, but actually waking up and having that intention that I'm going to think of maybe one thing I'm grateful for, or someone you're really excited to be catching up with that day, or even an activity or a meeting that you've just been busting to get into, that you're just really, really hungry to get started on so you can get some traction on this really meaty project that you're wanting to get into. So creating that morning intention or morning ritual is also a really great way of starting your day really well, and then following through with managing your energy flow, so your peaks and troughs, and also building in some time to get some credits back when you have some of those meetings or trainings or whatever is going on. It's actually taking away some of that energy.
Absolutely. And for those of you that have been following Sarah and I on our Friday Fuel series, you'll know there's a challenge coming up. If you're new to watching our Friday Fuel, at the end of every episode, what we do, we actually go out with a challenge. So you can probably guess where our challenge is going to be here, and that is what we would like you to do is focus on plotting your energy peaks and troughs throughout your week and throughout your day, and just sort of give yourself a new graph every single day. And then what I would also like you to do is to go through and look at your energy peaks and troughs in relation to where are your gains and drains. So what can you do to add in energy through the day, or what are taking your energy that you need to do something about? And Sarah's big challenge to you is all around that morning setup, is really making sure you start with really great intent. So quite a few things there to work on. Enjoy your week. We look forward to seeing you next week. And what we'll do is we'll take energy and we're going to take it to the next level. And let's look at how we manage our energy with workload. Have a great week, everybody.
See you, everybody.